Hi, I'm Rachel Sheldrick from the Workshop Whisperer, and welcome to another of our 10-minute trainings. This week, I really want to talk to you about a word that most of you don't use often enough. It's the word no. So I'm going to share with you why you need to say no more often, and you need to stay right till the end because you'll need to understand all three reasons why you're going to stop saying no, and you're going to teach your team to start saying no to you more often. Okay, so the word no. From our calls with you guys from all around Australia and New Zealand, we know that a lot of the issues in your auto repair shop are not stemming from customers. They are not stemming from your team. They're actually coming from the fact that you don't know how to say no. Now, there are a number of different scenarios that we're talking about. It's not just one. So I'm going to share with you three reasons why you should learn to say no, whether it's to that customer that just wants you to squeeze them in, whether it's that team member that's pushing for a little bit too much, and why you also need to train your team in the art of saying no, even if it's just to catch you out when you're doing it. So let's jump in. So the first reason why you need to say no and learn to practice your no muscle, as we call it, is because there's a good chance that your workflow and your productivity have problems themselves. And you trying to squeeze in more work because you don't want that customer to go somewhere else because you say no is having a detrimental impact on your ability to get work out. So where you've got workflow problems, where your guys are taking half an hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours longer than they should on a job, and you say yes to one more job that wasn't booked in the first place, you are pretty much ensuring that your workshop is going to run on stress levels that are just not healthy. So the very first reason why you should be saying no is because you've already got workflow issues and productivity issues and they're not fixed yet. We must fix our internal processes before we can say yes to one more customer. Now, I know that's probably going to make you feel a little sick in the stomach, the thought of saying no to somebody, that might be in an emergency. Maybe they had their car towed straight to you, and now it's sitting there in your front driveway, and you feel like you can't do anything but say yes. Yeah, sure, I'll just finish what I'm doing and then I'll be right on it. Here's the thing. If your customers are loyal and relatively sane human beings, they're going to understand, even if it's with a little bit of explanation from you or from your service advisor, that other people have booked in today and it's actually their work that needs to be done first, no matter how much of an emergency that person that had the car towed in thinks it is. So it's actually really important for you to remember, it's their emergency, not yours. So you don't need to agree to stress your team out by you or asking one of your technicians to stop what they're doing and get on that car. You don't need to stress your team out to squeeze another job, which, when something's brought in on a tow truck, it's usually a repair, it's not something quick. You don't need to stress them out with having to fit that in before everyone can go home that day. So say no or not just yet to those jobs that come in where the customer is experiencing an emergency because it's not your emergency. Now, if they aren't prepared to wait for you to get to that job, which might not be tomorrow or it might not be for 2 days' time, then you're going to have to be okay with them potentially putting that car on a tow truck and taking it to another mechanic. That's okay. Most people won't do that though. They'll wait for you because you've got a great reputation and they know that you do good work. So learn to say no in that instance because your customers will more than likely wait for you. It's their emergency, not yours. The second reason why you need to say no is because when you are saying yes to an already stressed workshop, you are reducing your gross profit on every job. How? Well, it's quite simple. Once you have too many cars booked in for the day and you then accept one or two others, the stress that you put on the technicians to get everything back to the customer by the end of the day actually takes away the time that they otherwise would have had to make upsells and get the customer's permission for that work to be done on the same day. So you might have heard me speak before about the ideal daily car count. This is something that we work on our engine room clients with. And once you know what your ideal daily car count is, you should not go over that because it actually accounts for the fact that you're more than likely going to find upsell opportunities and you don't want to make your customer come back twice. We want to get as much done on the same day as possible. So if you are overbooking because you're saying yes when you should be saying no, you actually wipe out that available upsell opportunity time. And when we do that, we're reducing our ability to add on high margin products or services to the job that's booked in, and that means we decrease our gross profit opportunity. So a stressed workshop with too many cars because you keep saying yes when you should say no decreases your gross profit. This is why you may have wondered more than once in your time as an auto repair shop owner why you look so busy but there's no money at the end of the day. Because busy doesn't equal productive or profitable. So say no so that your GP starts going up. And the third reason that you should say no is because you're the boss. This is your business. You make the rules. So when those customers are coming to you and they're saying, but you have to do it or I'll go somewhere else, that's a pretty good indication that that's somebody that you don't want to be dealing with in the first place. So put your big boy or your big girl pants on, stand there, be the boss and say, I'm okay with that. I know how much work our guys have already got to do today and I don't want to burn them out. I want to churn out high quality work for every single customer. And if I take your work today, then I'm not able to ensure that that quality of work is produced because everyone will be rushing. I'd prefer to wait until tomorrow when we have the time to book you in and then we can give your car the proper attention it deserves. Our most important concern for you is that your car is safe on the road. Now, a reasonable human being is not going to say no to that, but you need to say no to people pushing you around. You're the boss. Now, this also carries over to your team. You may have some people on your team that, take the mickey as far as being responsible inside your business. They may take longer breaks than they should. They may, just take liberties that the rest of the team is not taking. Now, this is also where you need to stand up. So if you're allowing yourself to be pushed around by a rogue team member, it's time for you to stand up and start saying no. As far as your team's concerned, you also need to let them know if you've been guilty of saying yes to customers far too often, that this is something you're going to work on and that they should call you out if they see you squeezing things in that just can't fit into the space you have available for the day. So enroll your team in this. Where you've got leaders that you're trying to train so that you can transfer your key person risk away from you, you want them to learn this skill. Don't say yes when you should be saying no. So there are reasons why we should be saying no and we should get used to exercising our no muscle. Go and start practicing today. Enroll your team and watch your gross profits start to improve because you're not trying to squeeze jobs where they don't fit. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you again next week. And as always, if you know you need help with this stuff now, if you're sick of struggling, if you're sick of being busy all day and there's no profit, then click the link in the comments under the video and answer a few questions and book a call to speak with me. I look forward to it.